we are with the fully spec'd out video of the Tusenö Shellback, the most beautiful Swedish watch I've ever featured on the channel, from some great guys in Gothenburg, just releasing a really stellar watch. I just want to get one thing clear before we start the video. This is not a review. I've said a lot of times that I don't review watches that are not my own. How could I? Because when I get watches sent to me from companies, either I can't even take off the plastic and it's just basically showing you the watch, or in this case I actually get 2 samples. I can wear them for a little while, but I'm not fully entitled to give you a full review because I haven't worn them enough. To be doing a review, I need to wear the watch for a long time, test it out, feel it out for a long-term review, and this is simply just not a review. It's a video showing you the watch, giving you some tips and maybe some opinions on some positives and negatives that I've actually seen in the few days that I've had the watches, and that's basically it. You're supposed to form your own opinion, and I'm basically just showing you the watch and giving you my quick first-time impressions. So let's get on with it. I'm just gonna get some things out of the way here. This is the Tusenö watch roll that I showed you in the unboxing, and actually if you pre-order the watch, it actually comes with a bunch of strap options. If you pre-order it on the bracelet, as you can see, the blue one, you get this blue rubber strap, which is really nice. You have quick release there, and a nice little pattern on the upper side. A nice little rubber strap. You get the same rubber strap with the black one. Here it is. As you can see, it looks great and it feels really soft. I think it's gonna be a nice addition to the watch. I'm actually gonna show you some footage with the rubber straps on, and then you get it on a NATO. This is the black NATO. It comes on the black watch, of course, and then you get a blue NATO, which is right here. I'm not gonna bother even taking it off. It's right there. And yeah, so 2 additional straps for the blue one, NATO and rubber, and 2 for the black one if you order it on a bracelet, NATO and rubber. That's it. The watch roll is actually sold separately, and it's a high quality watch roll. If you're out for a watch roll, I would actually recommend it. There it is. And these are the 2 watches that were sent to me from Tusenö. The blue version of the Shellback with the date at the 6 o'clock, and the black no date version, as you can see right there. Beautiful looking watches. If you just take a look at them straight off, it's a really nice watch. It's a perfect size. We have some nice specs in here. It's almost entirely brushed. We have some polished details on the case, and we have a really nice signed crown right there, as you can see. There you go. So let's just jump right into the specs, because I have a lot of things to talk about with this watch, so I best hurry on. So the Tusenö Shellback, the movement inside this baby is actually a Ronda Meccano caliber R150. It beats at 28,800 beats per hour. It has a hacking and 40 hours of power reserve. The case and bracelet and clasp is 316L stainless steel. And the dimensions, before I talk about dimensions, I have to tell you that they've actually, this is a sample version of the watch. As you can see, the end links are male, which makes the lug to lug protrude a little bit more than the actual lug to lug, but they're gonna change that to the production unit, and it's gonna actually be female end links, so we're gonna get the actual lug to lug measurement is gonna be the actual size of the watch. This is just a sample, and they're gonna do it backwards, so we're gonna get the end link inside here, and yeah, a female end link. Anyway, Dimensions: diameter 40 millimeters, lug width 20 millimeters, lug to lug 47 millimeters, and a thickness of 11.9 millimeters. We have a weight of 172 grams with the full bracelet, no links removed. And the bezel is 120 clicks unidirectional with a ceramic bezel insert. Let's check out the sound of the bezel. Those are some loud and reassuring clicks, and we have no backplay in the bezel whatsoever, and it's perfectly aligned. It's actually a little stiff, and those ridges on the I think it's a coin edged bezel, those small inserts, the little pattern there, it actually, I don't know if it's my hand, but it's a little hard to grip, because maybe they should have gone with some kind of a bigger ridge on the bezel, because it's a little hard to grip. You really have to push in your fingers and get a firm grip of it. But it's a really nice bezel. It's reaffirming, loud clicks, no play, perfectly aligned, really nice bezel all in all. And did I mention we have a ceramic bezel insert? I think I did, but I'm going to do it again. It's a ceramic bezel insert, beautiful blue one, and it's actually fully loomed, as I'm going to show you in the loom portion of the video. And here we are, looking at the loom on the Tusenö Shellback, and it's fantastic. It's so beautiful. Look at that second hand sweep. And in a true manner of staying true to its purpose, being a diver, we actually have a fully loomed bezel insert as well. So if you're diving and you're going deep and it gets really dark down there, you can set your bezel and time your dive. What a great looking loom on a great watch. And it actually lasts you for a long while. I haven't really tested it all night long, but I actually tested it a couple of hours, and it still had some juice in it before I went to bed. So it's a nicely loomed watch, evenly applied all around, and I'm loving that hour hand and the way it looks at you. Yeah, you did a great job, Tusenö. A great job with the loom. Fantastic. We have a sapphire crystal here, a double domed sapphire crystal with AR coating on the inside, as it should be. It's not going to show you any scratches on that AR coating from the outside, and it's actually a really nice sapphire crystal. In some angles you barely see that there's a sapphire at all, and you can see that nice sandwich dial peeking out at you, and with its nice brushing. And we have a water resistance of 200 meters. As you can see, the bracelet, the watch, almost everything here is polished, which gives you a little more utilitarian use of the watch. It's not a watch you have to be gentle with. It's built for a task. It's a diver, and it's not going to show you a lot of scratches because it's mostly brushed all over. That beautiful signed crown. There we have it, and you can see some polished details here and there, but it's mostly brushed. The bracelet is a work of beauty, as you can see. It catches the light perfectly. We have screwed links, and then we have the substantial clasp with the Tusenö logo written. Tusenö Göteborg. 2 buttons on the clasp. One is for opening it up, as you can see, and one is for the quick adjust system. Pull those in and you can actually adjust the clasp, giving you some play when your wrist swells up in the evening or if it's a really hot day. And it's actually working as a diver extension as well. There we go. We have 3 micro adjustments inside of that little quick adjustment piece of the clasp. 3 micro adjustments right there. And yeah, let's take a look at the case back. There we have that nice star, and then we have some text: sapphire crystal, sample, automatic, sapphire, Tusenö, and yeah, Swiss made. Beautiful watch. Easy way to remove the bracelet there and put it on that rubber strap or maybe the NATO. It's a beautiful watch. All in all, it's a really beautiful watch. So, a couple of words about the dial here, because it's a special one. This is what's called a sandwich dial. I actually recently learned that because it's made of like a sandwich. We have a lower portion and then we have an upper portion above that. So the dial is called a sandwich dial, and it actually means that it's a double layer dial with one base plate filled with superluminova and one top layer with the actual design. And as you can see, the design here is fantastic. We have one thing that I really like about this dial is that it's clean and yet it has a lot of dimension because of its layering. You have the incorporated date at the 6 o'clock, which they actually did a really cool choice in putting the date inside of the 6 o'clock marker. What a great thing to do. And then we have those hands. We just have to talk about the hands for a while, because this is just another proof of the attention to detail from Tusenö that they exhibit here. As you can see that we have a pretty standard second hand and minute hand, but you can see the hour hand actually has a hole in it. And you might think, why does it have a hole inside of it? I'm going to show you right now, and I think it's really cool. Even though it's a minor thing, I think it's really cool. As you can see, when you come to the shellback portion here, that hole actually shows you every letter within that name, always displaying the name for you when it sweeps around. Really cool execution and a really nice touch that they actually thought about doing a thing like that. I think the hands are actually standard on all of their watches. It's a cool thing to see. And you see Swiss made really small there beneath the 6 o'clock. You can almost not read it, which shows you the confidence from Tusenö that they don't have to brag about it. It's just put there tiny beneath the 6. A really nice dial with that white and blue together. Perfect combination. It's legible from a distance, and it's somehow modern and somehow classic at the same time. Okay, let's take a look at the black one as well. As you can see, this is the no date version, and I'm actually glad they sent me both versions, one with a date and one without a date. As you can see, we don't have a date at the 6 o'clock, we just have a regular hour marking there. And I'm really liking the black one. It's the black matches the ceramic bezel insert, and it's shiny. It catches the light in a really fun way, and it reflects that bezel insert on a cool way. As you can see here, we're playing with the sun and it looks gorgeous. I guess the black gives it even though it's a sandwich dial, and the sandwich dial in itself gives the watch three-dimensional depth, the black dial actually gives it even more of a depth because it's so black. It's like a black hole staring right back at you, calling you to just jump inside of its black pool. Let's take it off the NATO here. I'm going to show you how the watch looks without a strap or anything at all. There we go. Look at that beautiful case back. This is one of the coolest case backs that I've seen for a while. It's really beautiful, and it goes with the theme of the watch, with that star guiding you all the way home after a hard day at sea. And yeah, so anyway, that's what the watch looks like. And now we've come to the portion where I actually have some positive things to say, and actually some minor negative things to say. Oh, one more thing. The bezel action on the black one is actually a little better than on the blue one. I'm 100% sure that this is just based on their sample units, and almost every watch that I've owned, sometimes I've actually owned two of the same watch, maybe 3 times, will have some slight differences in the bezel action. This is a lot easier to operate. It's looser in some way, not loose in a way that it wobbles, but it's easier to operate. It's not easy to operate without a bracelet, though. That was really hard. The positives for me, I've just been able to have the watch for a couple of days and wearing it for a couple of days. I'm in no way an authority to tell you what to buy or not to buy. I'm just gonna give you, these are just my impressions after a couple of days of use, and you have to form your own opinion. So, positive number 1, the dial, which is a sandwich dial. I really like sandwich dial. They give you another dimension of the watch, as I've said I think 3 times already. Sure, I like applied indices and that, but there's something special with the sandwich dial. I just can't describe why. I'm just liking it really much, and putting the date inside of the 6 o'clock there, perfectly done. Perfectly done, Tusenö. And it's a stylish dial. They don't like shock you with a lot of text. It's just Tusenö Göteborg at the 12 and Shellback just above the 6. Nothing more. Sometimes less is more, and in this case less is actually more. I'm not sure which one I like the most. When I picked them up in the unboxing, I was dead certain that I liked the blue the most. But now I'm leaning a little towards that black because of its inky black hole black. And yeah, which one do you like the most, the blue one or the black one? Anyway, on to the pros. The hands, the thing they did with the hour hand, showing you the Shellback name all the way. I'm really impressed with that attention to detail, and that's one of the positives for sure. And the overall look of the watch just astounds me. It's a beautiful watch, and when you wear it on your wrist, it's actually even more beautiful. It's a stunning watch, and from the moment that I opened up the box and I saw it, actually from the moment I saw it on the product pictures, I knew this was gonna be a hit, and it is. A stunning watch, and the overall look is fantastic. I'm really liking the look of this one. And positive number 4, the bracelet. The way that the bracelet plays with the light is fantastic. One of the best bracelets I've ever had the opportunity to film on my channel, and one of the most stunning ones. It's soft on the touch, soft on the wrist. We have screwed links, and as I said, the way it plays with the light is unbeatable. A beautiful bracelet. Pro number 5, the case back. You don't see the back a lot on a watch, and it really shouldn't matter what it looks like, but somehow I like case backs when they're showing you something, when they're giving you something that they've thought of, maybe that goes in theme with the rest of the watch. Just giving you something detailed. Just the fact that they've done some work on the case back here. When I'm comparing it with my Rolex GMT Master 2, that case back is the most boring case back in the world. Compared to this, there's some craftsmanship going on in here, and I just had to take it in with the pros of the watch. A beautiful case back. The specs of the watch as well, as I said, If you pre-order the watch, it's 650 euros, and you get a hell of a lot of watch for 650 euros. A great movement, ceramic bezel insert, sapphire glass. Just the design of the watch, the time they've put in to design this watch, and the way they've thought every detail through it's a very well spec'd out watch for the money that you pay. And this last positive thing is the price. I think it's a very well priced watch. As I said, 650 euros. It's cheaper than a Squale, and you get some original design from a Swedish company. It's not cheap to produce watches in Sweden, and even though the watch itself it was not produced in Sweden, still the guys working at Tusenö in Gothenburg, they have employed people, and they've designed the watch. It takes a lot of hours to design a watch, and a lot of working hours in Sweden is not a cheap thing. And to give you this much watch for 650 euros, if you happen to pre-order it, is a steal. It's a nice price for a nice watch. Okay, one negative thing. I actually only have one negative thing to say about the Tusenö Shellback, and it's actually a thing that I didn't think would be negative. I actually thought that this would be a positive thing, because on the pictures I really love the look of it, and we're talking about the clasp. I just have to say it. I really like the look of the clasp. It's a beautiful clasp when you look at it like this, with the star Tusenö Göteborg, and when you look at it like this, it looks beautiful. It is beautiful. Beautiful brushing, some polished details on the edges there, and you have that quick adjust extension. It seems like the perfect clasp, but it actually isn't, in my humble opinion. The watch is trying to be it's a diver, but it's a small diver, 40 millimeters in diameter, 47 millimeters lug to lug, just 11.9 thick. It's a small diver. It's a neat and tender watch, and it should feel neat and tender on your wrist. But when you put it on, actually that neatness and that comfortability of the rest of the specs of the watch is actually a little bit thrown away by that humongous clasp on the other side of your wrist. And we can just see here, Zelos have this with a lot of their watches as well. As you can see, we have a really big hole here, a protrusion where the bracelet just goes into that big hole, and you could actually fit 2 bracelets inside of that big hole. And that's actually, it's not a good look. When I look at the watch from above and when I turn it around, it just bothers me that you see that big hole right in there. And with a watch where they've thought of every other detail, 100% attention on the details in every other aspect, and just to have that clasp, that clumsy, big, even though it's beautiful, but it's clumsy and it's big. And so that's one thing. And then the quick adjust function here. I love to have quick adjust possibilities on my clasps. I had it on my Christopher Ward. I've had it on a couple of Zelos watches. It's a nice thing to have, but you know what? When I want to, I don't know if it's supposed to be considered a quick adjust, or if it's supposed to be considered a diver's extension. Because if it's a diver's extension, I get it. You pop it open when you're supposed to dive over your wetsuit. You don't care of the looks, because you're just going for the dive, and you dive and you have that diver's extension, and when you're up again, you just pull it right back in. But if it's a quick adjust, if it's supposed to be a quick adjust, meaning that in the evening, you're maybe sitting at a restaurant with a couple of friends, you feel that your wrist is beginning to swell up, and you just give it a little more room to wiggle. This doesn't look good. I mean, you wouldn't be happy wearing the clasp like that. And yeah, I'm a little warm, so I'm gonna give it a little room, and then it just breaks up the whole clasp. If you're doing a quick adjust system, you're supposed to do it on the inside of the clasp, where you cannot see, where it doesn't break up the design of the entire clasp. It's supposed to be on the inside, and it's supposed to be invisible, so that the clasp looks the same, but the quick adjust system is actually inside of it without you seeing it, like a ninja in the bushes. So I don't know, the point with this is the diver's extension, then fine, disregard this little negative input. If it's a diver's extension, they all look horrible, and this actually looks better than most of them. But if it is supposed to be used as a quick adjust system, then I'm gonna keep that negative little point right there, because I don't like it. I think it breaks up the clasps in a clasp on a negative way. So even though I had just one negative thing to say about the watch, it's a beautiful watch. It's a stunning watch, and I think Tusenö hit it out of the park with this one. I'm really not sure which one I like the most, and I'm actually considering buying this watch. Should I go with the black one? Should I go with the blue one? I'm most certainly going to go with the date, because I think it's one of the coolest way I've seen it being implemented in a watch. So I'm gonna have a date, but is it gonna be black or is it gonna be blue? Black is more classic, blue is a little cooler, and actually it's a diver, and it's cool that it's blue. And the whole theme of the watch is actually a navy kind of theme, with the star and with the beacon looking design. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, that's the video of the Tusenö Shellback. I hope you liked the video, and if you did, please consider just giving the video a thumbs up, maybe subscribing to the channel if you like the content and would like to see more. If you didn't like it, please give it a thumbs down. Tell me what you didn't like and why you didn't like it, and I'm promising you that I'll try to do better into the next video. But until the next video, my friends, I hope you have a wonderful day out there, and I hope to see you again. And one last big shout out to Tusenö. Thank you, guys. It's cool that I got to feature this watch on my channel. Thank you, and have a nice day. Oh, sorry. Bye bye.